Welcome everyone. Today in this presentation we'll talk about leadership in digitalization. Yes, what the world is getting intensively tech savvy. Technology is a buzzword. In fact, in any industry, if you want to go around it, technology has made a foray into it. As a human being, as an employee, we should be a party to that tech savviness, and that is what we'll talk about as a leaders, how digitalizations can be implemented and made an impactful event. Let us understand and observe the digital world, which is basically there are two types of leadership skills, right, in a chief executive officers. On one hand, it is a well established market player who prefers to invest only in sound business. As a CEO, focuses only in the predictability of cash flow. Probably the person, the chief executive officer, does not prefer speed, does not prefer innovation. On the other hand, in the digital area, we are talking about disruptors, the market disruptor, the brash upstart, the person who is the movers and shakers, takes everyone into one side and decimates them, who believes in innovating, creating a new silo and altogether new market and altogether, speeds up and tries to score a win while managing a risk by failing fast, by starting afresh. So while many chief executive officer or chief intelligent or what I should say, intelligent officers to be officers understand, accept that shift in the business strategy. Believe me, they are becoming tech savvy. I said so. All businesses are essentially becoming tech savvy, necessarily to adapt the changing world. But what they fail to realize is that they how important their mindset is all about it. While moving to this business world, remember a leader's mindset provides a frame of reference. Frame of reference is how far they can hear, what they can interpret, and on what data sets they are going to act upon it. This is in turn will reflect the profitability of the company. This is in turn will show how the company is technologically oriented or not. Successful disruption tech digital leaders are able to transform their thinking first and then transform their company. So five important mindset. Let me discuss those five important traits of help you to differentiate between well-established digital leaders against a successful disruptors digital leader. So one is a well-established one and the other one is a successful disruptor, the one who is very innovative and breaking the rule of the game. So we have grow despite uncertainty. While a well-established marketplace players might be frozen or slow to respond in the face of uncertainty in a digital era. Disruptive digital leaders understand, embrace the idea that uncertainty is inevitable and is also required. Instead of expending energy trying to change that, these leaders explore what is technologically possible, how change will disrupt the market at the lowest of risk reward trade offs. However, embracing uncertainty alone does not mean throwing caution to the wind. As far as sound decision of fiscal accountability are concerned, it means to establish a plan that allows for a change as on when on basis. As we evolve with the businesses, we will embrace technology. As the operation grows manifold, we'll take help of automation per se, will take up digitizations of the operation altogether, or probably we do not succumb to any fake predictability or fallacy thereof. So focus on the idea that jumps into the future, the idea that is uh, created for the future orientation. So traditional implementing thinking usually runs the risk of irrelevance. You become obsolete in due courses of time. But in the digital world, a leader should focus on the ideas that is future oriented. Digital leaders should be visionary when it comes to technology frontiers, but all decisions are still rooted at the end goal of the mission. This demand of risk tolerant mindset as a future technology may be volatile, absolutely volatile, and get delayed more often than not. This is what we are looking for it. But a true digital leader is driven by the challenges, potential for creating new business value by harnessing a technology factor thereby. This is what we are looking for it. So what do we go upon it? How do we look for those ideas, those innovations, those technological things which is future oriented, which is going to make our life much more smooth, much more error free and comforting at the same time. So a true digital leader should be always be driven by challenges and probably potential of creating a new business ventures by harnessing a new technology. Let us understand the digital tool. In the new era of technology, it is quite easy to get distracted by the glamorous world of new tech tools that has been coming up, and they are coming up on almost on a weekly basis, if not on a daily basis. Digital leaders have to look beyond these distractions, seeking to master the digital era tools altogether. The goal should to become a pioneer and sustainable in a long term. Remember what happened in COVID-19, where we used to have a brick and mortar store to train people, to teach people, and it was a physical proximity space that we utilized to work. Otherwise, we never used to think that work is possible. But with the advent of this pandemic that comes around it, everything went on a virtual level. The teaching, learning process went on to an online fashion. Everything, people have succumbed to certain portals, certain verticals where they have come up with platforms. Let's say I am not going to name those platforms right now out here probably, but in all possibilities you are watching this video in one such platform, thereby n numbers of platform of erupted. What is they talking about? These are nothing but digital era tools. Nowadays it is fully understandable that you need not be in a physically proximity space to operate out of an office. You can be remotely located and be as productive, as fruitful for the organization. The goal should be to become a pioneer and sustain a long-term investment to secure leadership position in an emerging area, such as the platform-based business model, economics, or turning data into a customer value via algorithmic business tool. Absolutely, essentially, each individual employee's customers becomes a data point. We need to understand their tastes, their preferences, and probably tune our products to their requirement per se. And that is what digital tools is all about it. So selecting a tool and focusing on to make it a core competency is what a digital leaders will all be talking about it. That is the leadership in digitalizations essentially will talk around. So let us come to what needs to be initiated, what needs to be pilot studied, what needs to be learned, and probably we can repeat the process altogether. Start, test, learn, and repeat. The difference between the era and the follower is that the leader mindset is to seize the opportunity that it is stalling. Now, what is stalling? It is an impediment, it's a blockage that comes around it. You need to remove those blockade altogether. Another company would have made and already seized this opportunity. Can you give it? Can you take this luxury of providing an opportunity for another company to seize this opportunity? Probably not, because that means you are only faltering on your own business prospect. So while the followers prefers to wait till a time that tech-enabled breakthroughs are proven and readily acceptable by the end customer, so then the followers, or should I say the people who are mimicking the technology, would jump in. Digital leaders understand this thing in a very sound, grounded logic. So you have to make it a little pricier and take the advantage of being the first mover. Remember, the first movers has always an advantages which can never be negated. And by the time the mimickers of the followers lapping onto the technology, the digital leaders should have evolved into a newer, higher platform altogether, and probably come up with a new innovative products. And that is way to keep ahead of the curve. These CEOs will take a start, test, learn, repeat approach. Again, I repeat, say start, test, learn, repeat approach as a pathway to breakthrough solution. Instead of waiting for total clarity before proceeding in certain cases, such a lean startups. When I say lean startup, absolutely minuscule workforce that we talk around it, absolutely minuscule clients that we are looking into it. Before it goes manifold, minimum viable products, data evidence is based on experimentation. Companies use test as to path and create new valleys while mitigating downside risks thereby. Let us come to the fag end of the presentation, this being the penultimate style. Invent. I say invent, but rapidly. On we are coming up with digital products. I have said it, if not on a daily basis, but definitely on a weekly basis. The digital era is always characterized by disruption. Hence, companies must be able to invent more rapidly than the competitors. Did I say the front runner, the tech say savvy person would lead to go and to stay ahead of the curve will have to invent a lot of products and be the uh, first mover advantages and keep on having that thing. To encourage innovations at the high speed, digital leaders must establish a cultures of genuine creativity, as the case might be. They must visibly implement their beliefs at every level, from hires to the boardroom, from the way they operate around it. Actively create a culture that encourages risk taking and new discovery. Companies that are risk averse will obviously be too slow to react, too slow to gain market share, too slow to garner customers. Whereas an employee thinking on action might get bogged down in a traditional industrial role. On the other side, company that encourages speed, company that encourages failure are being more equipped to succeed eventually in the digital world. In short, what I would love to conclude out here is that successful digital leaders note that hiring high quality and committed talented employees is the key ingredient to market success. They understand that those with an engineering, management, data skill sets will become the most sought after assets in the digital world in the due course of time. Top notch talent may be motivated by something other than just financial rewards. Digital leaders are smart and at creating a compelling sense of purpose to attract and reward talent. Certain companies allows key talent to work on preferred projects, might even let them to select their own managers. Talented and committed employees also benefit from working at a company that understands the digital world and allows operational freedom to succeed in it. Absolutely. With these words, I come to an end of this presentation. Hope you understand what is leadership in the digital worlds, as the digitalization is all about it. Thank you for watching this video.